argument's sake, let's just suppose for a moment that Tammy Abraham is a legitimate target of David Moyes. I'm not overly excited myself because I don't rate the player highly. I'm not saying he's useless. He's all right. He's a good player, probably. When I look at our West Ham play, he doesn't look like he suits us. He doesn't pull out wide that much. I almost believed it more when we're linked with Simmer from Slavia Prague, because he's a wide player who can play at centre forward, score some goals. Much like Antonio, much like Arnautovic, wide player plays centrally. It's more sort of what David Moyes wants to do with a striker. That's why I discounted Adam Armstrong all the way along. If you watch these videos at all, you'll know that I discounted it. We thought we weren't interested. But let's just assume for a second that Tammy Abraham is a target for West Ham. Let's just assume that David Moyes does want him, and I understand he does. Putting aside all the tactical points for a moment, which are interesting, and we'll discuss them another time, because David Moyes didn't change when Sebastian Haller was in the team. We all thought whenever Antonio was injured and Haller was in the team, we were thinking, we'll do something else, Moyesy. Do something that gets the best out of this player. He didn't. Forget it tactically for a second. Let's just suppose that he does have something up his sleeve for Tammy Abraham. It didn't matter anyway, because there was some disparity in Chelsea's valuation and what we were willing to pay. Chelsea wanted 40 million. If you believe what you read, we were willing to pay 25. Clearly a significant disparity there. So it was deal off. We could forget about that and we could concentrate on something else, couldn't we? Well, it appears now that it might well be deal on. But that's not necessarily a good thing, even if we all assume that we want him and David Moyes wants him. Because the suggestion is that Chelsea might lower their price if they haven't found a solution by transfer deadline day. Meh. That's, what's that, Family Fortune, isn't it? It's no. Not good. Not good. I've got to say, we cannot leave it until then, for reasons I'll go on to in just a second. What I will do at this point is point you towards the OneFootball app. Look, the OneFootball app aggregates all of the West Ham stories into one place, so you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to go to a million different places. What it does, it takes all the stories from this website, that website, all these different sources, puts them all into one app. The app is free, and you can download it from the link below here. They're very kindly sponsoring Hammers Chat, which is very, very good of them at the moment, and I'm using it all the time for this roundup. I thought it was really good today not to speak about PAI Capital. That story will come back at some point, but anyway, if you haven't got it, please do download it. Use the link below. Can't go wrong. If you don't like it, just delete it. So there's a few things on there. We'll get to them in a second, namely Milenkovic and Ćaleta-Car, who is back on the radar apparently, and a £17 million bid has been made. But let's just get back for a second to Tammy Abraham thing, because I do think it's a dangerous situation where it's almost like Chelsea are dangling the carrot, saying, "Oh yeah, Davey, yeah, moisty boy." Sorry, I shouldn't really call him that, should I? Like, Chelsea probably don't call him that, let's be fair. In fact, I may be the only person that does, and we're not friends anymore, so it's like calling him that. But they may be saying, well, hold on a second, you can have him if you just wait around to transfer deadline day. If you imagine a situation where we wait around for him and we're waiting around for Jesse Lingard, and he gets to transfer deadline day, and everything, Chelsea say, actually, no, we're keeping him, and Man United say, actually, do you know what, we're going to keep Jesse for a little bit. We'll keep him until the winter and see how it goes. Then we're left, hold on a second, we better hurriedly get someone in. What's that Josh King doing? This is a situation we don't particularly want to be in. So, whilst it could be construed as good news, I think we've got to steer clear of it. If that's what we've got to do, wait till transfer deadline day, let's not bother. But if sort of understand it, if what Moyes really wants is Lingard and really wants Abrahams, you can almost understand why he's not going for any of these other players at the moment, because if those are his first choices, it also would demonstrate why we're getting a centre-half first. Look, I'm not saying we don't need a centre-half, but I am saying it's not a priority position. It just ain't, right? We got a few. We got some in reserve who look comparable. We got players who aren't quite centre halves who can play there. We just run through it ever so quickly. I know we lost Balbuena, but we got Dawson, we got Diop, we got Ogbonna, who can all play there. We got Alves, we got young Baptiste coming through. When we play with back three, Cresswell plays in there anyway. Declan Rice has played some of his career at centre half. We're not completely shy of central defenders. You want to play the same game with centre forward, and it's not quite so easy. we don't look quite so comfortable. Basically, we can afford, not I want one, an injury or two at centre-half, and we can still cope. We can't afford a single injury at centre-forward. So it would explain why it looks like we'll be signing the centre-half first. I just wonder if David Moyes is just not interested in any of these. Whereas with the centre-half, it may well be that actually, Moyes, you ain't getting Zuma. Have you got a second choice? I mean, centre-half saying, actually, yeah, I've got a second and a third choice. I don't feel he's doing that with a striker or with Lingard. If you notice, and this is on the One Football app as well, that Pereira has signed for the Saudi Arabian club. The more I think about it, the more I think actually there was never any interest from Moyes for Pereira anyway. I'm a little bit disappointed with the player actually, because I would like him to have the ambition to stay in a really competitive one of Europe's top leagues, rather than sort of chase the money. I think he's wasting his career. Maybe it's just me. I thought he had the potential to be one of the better players in the Premier League, one of the better attacking midfielders. I don't know. Maybe there's something we just don't know. The fact that nobody in the Premier League, despite him looking brilliant, nobody in the Premier League tried to buy him. Bit weird that, bearing in mind his talent. Anyway, he's gone. Let's forget about that. Okay, Ćaleta-Car from Marseille. We were interested in him last summer. He didn't want to come. Now, I mean, it may well be different. Now we've got European football, which is one of the reasons he didn't want to come last time. £17 million bid. It says we've drafted it. And this is from French Football News. We've drafted it. What does drafted it? Well, I know what drafted it means. But I guess in football terms, that means we haven't submitted it. Would that be right? We're just getting it ready, drafting it, putting the gold stickers on and, putting the glitter on it. David Sullivan's got his crayons out and signing it at the bottom. We're drafting it. I don't know what that means. Anyway, that's that. There's 2 or 3 people are running with this story. We're linked with Fabrizio Romano again, but the real one and the one that appears to be getting done is Milenkovic. Interesting. It looks like something's happening there. Again, not leaked from us, leaked from the Italian side. So I mean, that one could be very, very interesting. Oh, I know, I've got to show you. Canning Town Len sent me this today. You see, it is me and a fornicator. I'll tell you more about it in an upcoming video. But yeah, he's going to do a Hammers Chat art shop, basically Hammers Chat art shop on canningtownlen.com. So you'd be able to get yourself and El Fornicator, or any combination. Maybe just yourself. He's got all sorts on there. I'm blessed with these things. That's last year's, and some of them are one of a kind. Well, this one is one of a kind. Each one's got a subtle difference. Very, very good. So there's a lot of that coming from Len of Canning Town, who is the naughtiest man called Len in all of Canning Town. He gave me some other bits. Oh, there you go. Got some other bits as well, which I will tell you all about at a future date. But these things are really cool. Really cool. Look at them. They're metal. Not that proves it. Me tapping doesn't prove they're metal. I'm telling you, they are. They're metal. And they're coded on both sides, which I'll tell you why. That is very, very exciting. Can I ask you one half for your season ticket? Another half for your bus ticket? Oh, well, I've got a spare one, which is good because I dropped it. Anyway, I'll talk about those at a future point. Just going back on to the players whilst we're at it. So this whole thing about signing the defender first, I am starting to believe it a little bit more. And the more I read about it, the more I think actually there's no smoke without fire really on this one. So are we in for Ćaleta-Car? Quite possibly. You have to think that he was a higher priority than Milenkovic. However, Milenkovic came up. He's a good age. He's 23 years of age. Don't know much about him as a player. Tell you what I'll do. I'll find out and I'll let you know. Because if I don't know, there's going to be a load of you that don't know as well. We'll have a little chat about him. We'll work out what are his attributes. In fact, I've seen more of Ćaleta-Car than I have of this guy. But because we saw this guy in the European Championships, didn't we? Play for Croatia. Because he was more of a first choice for Moyes last season, you have to assume that really he's going to be the same again. So maybe we're in for this Milenkovic, and then right at the last bit, Ćaleta-Car came up, so maybe more saying, oh, actually, no, I prefer this guy. I mean, it's like a kid. It's like a kid in a sweet shop. It literally is. You know, do you want the cola bottles? Yeah, I want the cola bottles. Okay, you got the cola bottles. Oh, no, the sour cherries. The sour cherries are up there. Have some sour cherries instead. This is maybe what's happening. Maybe David Moyes is just in there. Look, we need to get a signing made. It needs to get done. A little bit lopsided for me. That's all I'm saying. I think if we needed the centre half comes in. Let's say we'll probably play 4 at the back against Newcastle. It's going to be Ogbonna and Dawson anyway, isn't it? Regardless of who comes in, I doubt they'll go straight into the team. I think there are other areas of the team whereby you'll get used in the first game. Were we to buy, take your pick, Tammy Abraham, Adam Plosek, Josef En-Nesyri, by any of their players, those players are centre forward, they're at the very least coming off the bench and making a big impact. So, bit lopsided. I'd rather the attacking positions were sorted out first. But if we get a centre half, who would have thought it? Who would have thought it? A priority at the end of last season, we get to this one, would be a goalkeeper and a centre half before we sign anyone attacking. Anyway, there you go. If you haven't done so already, please do click the link for the OneFootball app below. It helps hammer chat out massively if you use the links on our videos rather than just searching for it on the Play Store or whatever. Thanks for all your support as well, by the way. Just do want to say that everybody that continually watches these videos, particularly for suffering the adverts, really do appreciate it. It really does help us out, and we're really trying to make a go of it. Anyone that's bought anything from the shop, the Hammers Chat shop as well. The pre-orders for the polos, we sold out literally we couldn't get them quickly enough, so they've been a massive success. There's loads more coming from the shop, and I want to thank everybody on Patreon, which I did earlier anyway, while I sat in my kitchen looking extremely tired, cuddling, nursing a cup of tea, and giving my I made them suffer with more on PAI Capital. I thought I'd give you a lot of rest. Anyway, I wanted to say thanks for everything, and I'll catch up with you tomorrow. Might be players, might be PAI Capital. Maybe I'll show you me having a cuddle with old Fauna Cador again. Who knows?